Hey guys, Jexie here. Welcome back to another video. So today's video is going to be a little different. I did receive an email regarding some criticism, and as you guys know, I really do take constructive criticism well, and I feel like if someone has an issue, it should be addressed, right? So I did address this with the person directly. However, in case this is something that other people are concerned about, I thought I'd address it here. Okay, so I'm going to read you guys the email that I got. I'm not going to say who sent it. It's not necessary. There's no reason to be mad at the person who sent it. I really think it's great when people reach out and express their opinions on things I talk about or my channel in general. Look, we're not always going to agree on things, but I think that if one person is bringing something up, then there's probably more people who have the same thought. So I thought it would just be worth addressing in a video as well, on top of what I had addressed to this person individually. So I'm going to read this to you, and then we're going to talk about it. So it says, "Hi, I'm a member of Narcotics Anonymous. I was not going to post this on your videos publicly, but I highly suggest that you review Tradition 11 of the NA literature. You mentioned in one of your videos that you have a lot of experience with Narcotics Anonymous, as well as that you were a member of a 12-step program. So I'm going to make an educated guess that you are also a member of Narcotics Anonymous. Tradition 11 states, and this is quoted, "Our public relations policy is based on attraction rather than promotion. We need always maintain personal anonymity at the level of press, radio, and films. While I applaud your efforts to help people, by having your face showing in your videos, you are breaking Tradition 11 because you have stopped being anonymous. I too like to post videos on YouTube about my experience, strength, and hope, but you will only hear my first name and you will never see my face. May I also suggest that you do a search of YouTube and other videos on Narcotics Anonymous, and you will find that none of them show any faces. That is because it violates Tradition 11, because you are no longer anonymous. Does your sponsor know you have this channel, and if so, what do they say about it? Ask other members about what you're doing and see what they say about it, ... Then decide what you should do. But to be in compliance with Tradition 11, you should always not show your face in any of your videos. Be well," and then they sign it off. Okay, so first off, I think that's a really fair thing to say, right? Like, I don't read that and be like, how could they say that? What's wrong with them, right? Like, no, I think it's a fair critique, and I would like to address it because I feel like this is one of those things I thought about before doing a channel, right? So before I started a YouTube channel, I thought a little bit about how I would do it. I'll be honest with you, the original thought I had for a YouTube channel was reading the Just for Today meditation literature from Narcotics Anonymous and sharing my experience, strength, and hope on each day's topic. However, I decided not to do that because I think having a channel that is specific to one recovery program, one, limits the amount of topics I could talk about, because that would mean that any topic I talked about would have to be directly related to that program and also would have to be in compliance with what that program says and feels, right? So I decided after some really hard thinking, I planned for my channel for probably about 6 months before I started it, that I was not going to have a channel based on any one recovery program. That instead, my YouTube channel was just going to be about my personal experience with recovery, my struggles with everyday life, and just my experience overall. I think I make it very clear in my videos that I don't represent any program. I have experience in a great deal of programs. I have experience with Narcotics Anonymous. I have experience with Alcoholics Anonymous. I have a lot of information about maintenance medications. I have experience with Smart Recovery. I have experience with Celebrate Recovery. I have done a lot to educate myself on the variety of recovery programs out there, and there's still so much more I don't know. I don't want my channel to be about one program of recovery. Even though as an individual, I tend to lean towards Narcotics Anonymous for my own personal recovery. That is not what I share about on this channel. Although I do share about my experience with NA, and I do share some information, basic information about NA, I'm very regularly telling you guys that the things I share are my own personal experiences and not representative of any one program. And there's a reason for that. So, for those of you who don't know, Tradition 11 is very important in Narcotics Anonymous. When it says we must always maintain personal anonymity at the level of press, radio, and films. So what does that mean? Why is that important? Well, I'll tell you why that's very important. So there's a story that we tell people in NA when they ask about this tradition. And the story is this. There was a very, very famous baseball player who struggled a lot with drug addiction. And finally, he got clean. And when he got clean, he was a member of Narcotics Anonymous, and he went on every news station and said Narcotics Anonymous saved his life. Narcotics Anonymous is the answer. If it wasn't for Narcotics Anonymous, he wouldn't be clean, and on and on and on, right? And then what happened? He relapsed. So what does that show? It shows to people that Narcotics Anonymous doesn't work, that Narcotics Anonymous isn't the answer. And that is why we have to be very careful when we speak about programs that have anonymity as a big part of it. So why is my channel different? Well, I'll tell you. One, I am not in any way promoting any program at all, not even Narcotics Anonymous, which I personally am a fan of, right? And you guys know this. The ones who've been with my channel and watch my videos, you guys know I say this all the time, right? But I can share my experience, but that may not be your experience. You may walk into any program, a program I don't like, and find that it works for you. You know, there's a lot of programs based on harm reduction that are very successful. That is completely against what NA would say about complete abstinence, right? So if I was to promote or share only about one program, I would limit my audience, first of all, and it wouldn't really be true to who I am or what my channel is about. My channel is about my experience in recovery and about being a loving, caring place where people from any recovery program can come and feel heard and feel loved and feel wanted, right? Recovery is hard, and there's not one right way to do it. So if I was a channel that shared only about Narcotics Anonymous, and I shared with you only from Narcotics Anonymous literature, I would definitely agree that having my face and sharing who I am and what I'm doing may be a tradition problem. But that is not what this channel is about. And for anybody who maybe has been confused about this, I felt because of that email, I should do a video to be really clear on it. My channel is about my experience in recovery as a whole, and Narcotics Anonymous is only a part of it. Yes, do I go to regular NA meetings? Of course I do. That's something that works for me. And I do share about things, I do have videos, right? Like what to expect at an NA meeting. And why do I do videos like that if I'm not only about Narcotics Anonymous? Well, I'll tell you. A lot of you guys have reached out to me saying that you've been really fearful about going to an NA meeting, or that you went to one and it wasn't what you expected, and it's very scary to walk into any meeting for the very first time. So by doing a video using my experience with a program like Narcotics Anonymous and just sharing what like a general meeting, what my experience at a regular meeting in my area is like, it may help you gain the courage to go to a meeting if that's something you want to do. But I also share my experience with other things, and I do that for a reason, because my channel is not about Narcotics Anonymous. I do not share a Narcotics Anonymous message on this channel. I share a personal recovery message on this channel. And I think that it needs to be very clear, because I don't ever want anybody watching this saying, look, if I said that my channel was about Narcotics Anonymous and how you can learn about Narcotics Anonymous, and then I share my own experience and I share something that maybe isn't in relation to Narcotics Anonymous, that becomes a problem, right? Because that's like a mixed message. That would be very confusing for a viewer, for somebody who didn't know. If I'm telling you that everything I share about is about NA, and then I share about something like maintenance medications, which is a complete outside issue, it has nothing to do with NA, that would be very confusing, because my personal thoughts about maintenance medications have nothing to do with NA, because NA doesn't address that, right? So before I started this channel, I wanted it to be very clear that this was just me talking to you about my personal experience. I'm going to share what my experience is, but I don't represent anybody. Another thing that I personally feel has been an issue for a lot of people when it comes to programs that are about anonymity is that we become like a secret society. And NA literature is very clear. Anonymity does not mean confidentiality. Right? We want people to know, right? An NA member wants people to know that NA exists. And if we're very secretive and quiet and we don't share that it exists, right? That's scary. Now, I will tell you this. I do have a lot of experience with Narcotics Anonymous. I did public relations for Narcotics Anonymous for a long time. I used to be responsible for going to police stations, going to lawyers' offices, going to, the courthouse, going to town hall meetings. And I would stand up and I would tell people what NA is and how to find it. That was my role in the program, right? So I am very, very familiar with Narcotics Anonymous traditions. But if one person feels like I'm violating that by putting my face on a camera and using the words NA, then there may be other people who think that. And I think it's really important that even if one person thinks that, I address it, right? I don't think that anybody's opinion is wrong, right? Look, any program is going to have internal controversy no matter what they say. That's why the traditions were formulated to begin with, right? You want to see some fun, go to an area service at a 12-step meeting and watch that fight, right? It happens because we all have differences of opinion, right? That's okay. So instead of trying to tiptoe around people's opinions and worry about saying the wrong thing or misrepresenting a program, I decided not to worry about that at all and just be honest with you guys about what my recovery experience is like. So if you didn't already know, my channel is not about NA or AA or smart recovery or maintenance medications or any of those things. My channel is about recovery as a whole, my experience, my thoughts, my hopes with recovery. Look, recovery is not one size fits all, and we all work a different program. I have seen a lot of people who work a harm reduction method and not complete abstinence who are very successful. I don't want to be somebody who sits here and judges your recovery, which is what it would feel like if I was trying to represent a program, which I'm not doing, okay? My channel is about recovery, and I love hearing your stories and your experience with recovery. It's okay that it's different than mine. Is it working for you? Then that's the right program. That's the right path for you. We should never let people make us feel like our recovery is inadequate. But I do think it's important that people understand, look, when sitting up here with the channel, there is responsibility, right? There is a sense of responsibility, right? Like if I got up here and I was high off my ass telling you guys all about how to recover, like that would be irresponsible. But the fact is I've been in recovery for over 7.5 years and I work hard on it. And I thought long and hard before putting out this YouTube channel. Those of you who know me know that. I had many conversations with people in all different programs of recovery. I've reached out to other YouTube recovery channels and discussed things. And I think what makes my channel different is, one, not only do I share my experience, but I love to show you guys research. A lot of my reaction time videos, if you see them, they're in a playlist on the homepage, are based off of peer-reviewed scientific studies. They're not based off of any program's literature. They're based off of science. I think that's an important part of recovery, being educated, and being educated on as much as there is to be educated on. So why do I show my face on these videos? Well, because I don't think just having my voice would have the same impact. You guys can see me. You guys can look into my eyes and know what I'm saying, that I mean it. Right? Like I can speak, and let me be clear on this. I do often get asked to speak for Narcotics Anonymous. When I do, it is not the same thing as what I speak on this channel. When I speak at Narcotics Anonymous meetings, I speak from a Narcotics Anonymous point of view and I speak a Narcotics Anonymous message. That's not what I do here. With you guys, I'm just me. And I share with you my experience and how I live day to day in recovery. So, look, I would love to hear from you. As you guys know, those of you who have been with me for a little bit, I answer every comment, even ones that may be mean. So tell me your thoughts. Have you been worried that I've been violating the traditions of one program or another? Can you understand why I don't want my channel being just a representation of one program? Does it make sense that I just share my experience? Should I leave out the programs that I use? I want to know your thoughts, and be honest with me. It's okay if we don't agree. And if anybody leaves a comment that you don't agree with, you are only allowed to respond if you do so kindly, because I don't ever want unkindness on this channel, and I feel like in a lot of my past videos, we've had really good debates and had differences of opinion in really respectful ways. It is not easy to do that on YouTube, and we've been really great at doing that here. So let's keep it up. Tell me your thoughts. I know some of you are members of a 12-step program, some of you are not. Tell me what you think. Do you guys agree? Am I doing something wrong? I mean, I really feel like I've been very clear that I don't represent any program and that I'm just sharing my experience with recovery. But I want to know, has that been confusing? Tell me what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. It helps me a lot. If you're not subscribed to my channel and you would enjoy listening to other recovery content, please hit the subscribe button. Again, it helps me a lot. For anybody who doesn't know, we do live trivia on Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is not recovery-based. It's just a way for those in the recovery community and those outside the recovery community to come together to have fun in a safe place. So if you're interested in that, you can check it out. I have a Discord server. I have a Twitter account, all under the same name. Links are in the description. Thank you guys so much. I love you all, and see you next video. Bye, guys.